Here I'm shoutcasting here as Sinful Josh, and here as my teammate here in casting we got Flash.
Hi guys, just getting everything ready on my end, and I'll be able to help him out.
All right, so now we got another ban there, right on the side. We have Jarvan going down now. Another not too surprising ban in that jungle. That he's very bursty and you can definitely see down the enemy team. While on the red side of Wisconsin, they have a Lucian ban that's definitely targeted the bot, whereas Osama, he's got a decent Lucian, and they doesn't want them to be able to take off with that there.
Yeah, just waiting to get vision on the stream for me, and then I'll be able to help out.
All right, he'll be coming in and getting this also. We'll keep shoutcasting this out here. We got the Camille ban now. That was another ban that Chicago did the first time around. It's a great ban to get out of there. She definitely has a lot of power to be able to keep one person down, and her ult is very terrifying when placed in the right hands. There's a Braum drops as well on the Wisconsin side. Now we'll be going right into the picks for Z Delta. And he seems like he'll be picking up a Sejuani for the jungle. Sejuani's a great pick to be both for the CC and the potential to pressure any lane at any time. And now we go right into Wisconsin. We're gonna be first picking from Mike. He's been subbed in here now, coming in to see what he's going to be picking for the enemy, and now be another Gragas again. Gragas, they played Gragas last game and was doing wonderfully with it, so it's great to see that they're going to be trying to use that again. You have a great CC from the ult and be able to have a lot of map potential just like Sejuani, the pressure, and there comes the Varus pick again. It worked a lot. It worked very well last game as well with that Varus. He was able to get a great pentakill, actually, and so that he'll be able to actually use that again and maybe be able to pick up another one. And here we go. Now we have Chicago picking, and it seems like a Xayah. That's interesting. Last time they played a Tristana, it wasn't working out too well. We got the Rakan coming in right after. We got the Love Twins, the Love Birds. They'll be having the Xayah Rakan duo in the bot. Very strong, very useful with the Rakan being able to get that quick CC from his knock-up into his ult, and then you have Xayah being able to keep them rooted and be able to get his damage off with the feathers, being able to go through it. So this is now Varus and that Xayah have both in penetration for the damage to be able to hit multiple members. And then here goes the Azir to bring the Shurima shuffle back into the Rift for the mid lane. Now we have the second version of the bans going on, and we have Mike here picking up another ban. Seems like something went wrong there, but wait, there we go. A little lag there. We have a Galio ban. That was a strong pick last game. It was very influential, and it's definitely a strategic pick there to try to target that Galio so that both teams aren't able to get that giant map CC. That could be detrimental for the teams.
Now I'm angry.
And it seems like Z Delta will be taking the Alistar. That was another ban from the previous. Alistar's got that great CC, and he's not going to be able to do that super tanking to keep safe that Varus, and so they're gonna have to think of another support to try to help Varus out. All right, and now we have Mike on for Wisconsin picking again. Maybe picking that Syndra. That's interesting. Syndra's a very strong pick for the mid lane, and she has a ton of potential to 1 to 100 to 0 somebody, and it could definitely be scary when she gets fed. So the Zoe and the Syndra is definitely targeting that mid lane to try to make it so that they have as less options as possible. And here comes the final ban out for Chicago. They're going to be trying to see what they have to get rid of, and they're getting rid of the Janna support. Definitely targeting the supports now. They don't want to give any of these easy supports away to Wisconsin. To Wisconsin. They don't want to be able to have to worry about these big, strong CC based champs. And here we go. We have the next pick coming in for Wisconsin here. Dynamis. That's a weird name, but I think I like it now because he got a Penna last game. He can have whatever name he wants. He picks up that Scion. Interesting pick there. That could be a Scion support. That could be a Scion top. We don't know for sure yet, but I feel like that might actually be a Scion support. It's not played all that often, but it's definitely a useful support. It's very aggressive. And here we go. We have a mid lane pick over here. It seems like it's going to be Cassidy over here on Chicago's side. Cassidy has definitely got that. Oh, wait. They switched for the last second for a Vlad. That's a lot of... That's another AP. So they got an AP jungle, AP top. And this is going to be probably a Vlad in the top lane. That's going to be great paired up against maybe the Scion's top, or maybe somebody else that will be picked by Wisconsin. Here we go for the final pick on the Chicago side. We got Victor. And here comes, that's going to be the mid lane. So that means we got a Vlad top, Victor mid, Rakan support, Zaya bot, and a Sejuani jungle. Poppy's here, guys. We got Papa Ryan Sims here, big man's coming in to help and shoutcast this one. And we got the final pick. Is going to be a Gangplank top for Wisconsin, which means it's going to round out to be a Gangplank top, Scion support, Azir mid, Varus bot, and we're going to be having that Gragas jungle. So, Papa, how do you think these teams are going to be coming out here?
I gotta say, I'm a big fan of Chicago's team right now. You got the dynamic duo bot. I'm kind of surprised that they brought out the Scion. You know, kind of an unorthodox pick, but you know, if they can make it work, you know, I'm excited to see it happen.
Yeah, I definitely like Scion support. I have definitely played it a few times in solo queue and had tons of fun, but it was also tons of effectiveness. And it's going to be a big help when the Rakan comes in to jump in. It's going to be able to stop the Rakan a little bit. And with the Rakan Zaya pick, I definitely like the synergy between the two. They're already built in, and it can definitely impact based off of how well they synchronize together, synergize together.
Both of the teams chose very prominent, spacious mid laners, so you can easily zone with the Victor, and just as much so with Azir. And so you're definitely able to do a lot of damage with those two champions right there.
All right, and now we go into our spectator delay. You know, we can't get any fun little early tidbits. So now, what do you think? Let's run down these lanes like we did last time. Let's see. Who do you think is going to come on up top? Vladimir or Gangplank?
I'm partial to the Vladimir on this one. He just has so much sustain in lane, and while Gangplank definitely has his oranges, you know, it's no match for everything that Vladimir will be rocking.
Yeah, definitely. Now let's head right down into the jungle. Sejuani versus Gragas. How do you feel on these two?
I think this is going to be a pretty even matchup. It's really going to depend on how well the early ganks go. Both of these junglers, I feel, are pretty evenly matched, and so once we actually, you know, get going in the game, whoever can be more effective in the early game, I think will be the more prominent jungler.
Yes, and now we have Victor versus Azir in the mid lane. I'm feeling that Azir is going to probably come out on top. Victor's going to get some early pokes, but Azir, is depending on how well his Shurima shuffle is, he could definitely decimate this Victor. How do you think about it?
You know, he absolutely can. They both, as I was mentioning earlier, they like their space. You know, neither of them are all too, you know, big into the all-ins, but, you know, it all depends on, it's really a skill-based matchup for that one, I feel.
Yeah, and now we have the final. We have bot and support combos with the Zaya Rakan versus the Varus Scion. And last game, Varus was doing really well for himself as a bot lane, being able to position himself properly and be able to put his tanks between him and the other enemy AD carry, while also being able to take down the AD carry and the mid. So I'm definitely going to see how Varus is going to do this time. But now Zaya's a little bit more slippery than the previous Tristana. Even though Tristana did have those jumps, he was definitely able to... He's definitely going to be able to ult and be able to nullify that Varus ult when he comes into play. How do you feel these two are going to go up against?
So it's going to be tricky. What I'm really interested to see is what rune the Scion is going to be taking. I know that some people with Scion actually take Arcane Comet, and so that way they can combine the shout and land that easily into a Q and get the Comet damage on it. And you know, it can do a big chunk, and you might not be expecting it. But with the Zaya and Rakan, you know, they're just so slippery. I imagine they're going to be able to easily jump out at anything that Scion's going to be throwing at them.
All right, and now as the time ticks down, we're going to be having the overall play. Who do you think's going to win? Do you think Wisconsin's going to come out on top with their great picks of seems more of a poke again type of a more pokish type of team, or do you think Chicago's going to come out on top with the more sustained type base builds?
I definitely think that this one's going to go to Chicago. I'm really liking, you know, their composition. They got a good mixture of magic damage and just attack damage. And so especially with the CC that you can really bring with Sejuani, I think that they're looking really, really clean for this matchup.
All right, and now here we go. We're going to be getting into the loading screen right now. I hope everyone's having a great night tonight. I'm definitely having an awesome night. It's 11:24 over here on the East Coast. I don't know where watching from, but hopefully we have people from all around the country coming in to have some fun and enjoy this collegiate League of Legends. So, Papa, how's your night going?
It's going good, man. It's going good. Excited to be casting for the first time. So, chat, bear with us, and also, working the stream. And for some reason, there's an echo on my mic. Hopefully, that's not being picked up on stream. If that definitely is, let me know. We're rolling with it.
I don't hear anything. This is my second time streaming as well. So, it's definitely high quality content here on the Twitch ACL secondary.
Well, that's and here what we're looking for.
High quality content, fully monetized. Support my Patreon. I don't have a Patreon. And here we go. We're going to be getting ready to start this match. Loading up everything, making sure everything's working. And here we go. Are you here at 3 seconds with me, Papa?
6, 7, 8.
7? Yeah, all right. We are good to go, guys. All right, here we are starting out. Everything is going to be. So I feel like last time, they're probably going to set up a defensive way to make sure no one can gank each other and try to get those early kills off into the jungle.
It looks like Wisconsin's going aggressive with their approach into it. It looks like they're bringing their top laner with them to get that early invade, knowing that Sion doesn't have the strongest early levels.
Yep. So it seems like
30 seconds until
it seems like they're
quickly seen out just by a simple ward, but looks like they're going to be breaking down into their more traditional spread across the river and make sure everybody's staying in their own little playgrounds.
Yeah, and it seems like everything's going to be calm in these rivers. No water going to be stirring tonight. And you always got to be prepared for any type of traps you come in. You ever see a movie called Home Alone? Man, that kid, he prepares for traps, and this is what they need to do too. They need to prepare for the traps so that the bandits, when they come into the house, they don't have the advantage, and they have the advantage, and the kid has the advantage instead. And just like in this game, maybe Wisconsin's going to try to use that hidden tactic again and be able to try to get one up on the on Chicago here.
You were looking for that. You were looking for that reference there. I see you.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna try to make as many references as possible because it makes this fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Makes it great. Yeah, and here we go. We're gonna be starting off the CS in the mid, and we have everyone. Seems like Rox will be starting at the top, red side, red buff, and then it seems like Sejuani will be starting blue buff. So it seems like the traditional Sejuani going for the blue, needing that mana regen. Gragas grabbing the red, starting that early clear.
It's definitely going to be important, for those early game camps, because Sejuani is more mana dependent than you might initially expect, and so it's very valuable to have that early on.
Yeah, and you see Gangplank here taking a lot of early damage. He doesn't want to start losing this much health in the beginning, or he's going to give Vlad a big upper hand, especially since Vlad has a lot more sustain than Gangplank.
Once he gets that little bit of health lead, he can just zone so easily by standing in front of the minions and just sapping them whenever he needs that extra bit of health.
Yeah, but definitely Vlad's going to have to respect when Gangplank gets that sheen. It's just going to be a lot of damage you're not expecting at all. And it seems like down in the bot lane, Sion support is definitely taking what you were thinking. That Arcane Comet is coming out for the Keystone. It's going to give a little bit more damage. And the Varus will be taking that fleet footwork. And then let's just run down all the Keystones real quick. You got Azir in the mid lane with the Arcane Comet. You got Gragas with that great CC Keystone that gives them an extra damage. And then you got Kleptomancy up in the top of the Gangplank. That makes so much sense. Can you run me down on the blue side for me?
Okay, so we're rolling with the Vladimir top lane with the Unbound Spellbook, which is a very, very popular rune on Vladimir right now. Mainly because the thing that hampers Vladimir is that he struggles to get to the back line at times. And being able to shift out your summoner spells for, Ghost, Flash, whatever you need at the specific time, it really allows you to get into the back line. Similarly, Sejuani just working with the classic, I believe that's called Aftershock. Allows her to get a little bit more damage with it. You got the Victor in the middle, Fleetwood footwork, and
That's
same with their bot lane, so that they can get in and get out when all the issues happen.
Yeah, the Victor taking Fleetwood forward shows that he wants that movement speed over top of that extra damage you could get with like a Avery or a Arcane Comment. It shows that he doesn't want the Shurima Shuffle Master to come in and just take him down. He wants to still be able to run away and not be able to get poked by all those autos.
Absolutely, you're absolutely right.
All right, now we have a simple farming right now. Everyone's getting up, trying to get that creep score as high as possible. It seems like Scion's trying to get some early poke damage up on this Rakan, but he's unable to do it. Rakan gets the knock up on the Scion. Now they're going to be getting Zai's going to be getting that damage out with his feathers. She's going to be going for a little bit more damage, and he's going to try to hit him with the stun, but doesn't miss anything. Rakan's going to put the ignite. They're going to be a flash and heal by the Scion and Varus. He's going to be able to get away, but barely with any health. He's got to be very careful. These Zai's feathers have extreme range, and it's hard to sometimes see where they're going to come. And if he gets too many of those hit him, he's going to be able to lose his health and lose his life.
This bot lane matchup is definitely interesting to watch. As I was mentioning in the pregame, that Zai and Rakan, they're a slippery pair. And as you saw, you know, the Scion charged up a full Q and just managed to whiff it all. And so it's going to be tricky for them to, you know, progress forward, especially now their summoner spells are gone, which again, when you don't have flash on two immobile champions, you know, you're bound to be, you're just asking the jungler to come down and pay you a nice little visit.
All right, and I'm real quick. Let me just recap what just happened down there. The Rakan used his shield jump to the Xayah to be able to give him more distance to then shoot out his stun and knock up the Scion and be able to have the help with the gank from Stwine to kill him off and be able to have the first blood go to the bot lane Xayah. That's crazy. Rakan has insane distance with being able to move. With the double shield, he's able to move up a minion wave, a full minion wave, and then stun someone. He can move about an insane amount of speed and within like seconds. So you got to be very quick at reacting. It's almost inhuman to be able to react to what he does.
Definitely quick with all of his movements, and it's always hard to track down. And again, going back to that Scion support pick, it's kind of a slow and kind of cumbersome pick, and so it definitely makes it tricky.
Yes, but it can work if it's played in the right hands, which I feel like Imperial Trinity definitely was showing how well he was doing with the brand last game, and I feel like he's going to be able to follow up. He did lose his life here, but I feel like he won't let it happen again. He's going to be able to support better.
And at the end of the day, they just got that kill. They didn't get any objectives off of it. There's not much of a gold lead right now. I know that you know, Xayah backed first, and so but that wave's going to be crashing into the bot lane. But going top lane, getting a little bit of a fight now.
Yep, you see Gangplank just popped his stopwatch to make sure the Vlad didn't get too much damage on, but now he's going to be following up on the Vladimir here to get a couple more hits. With his Q, he's going to be doing that damage, and you see that Gangplank actually has this Sheen, and that's what I'm talking about. That Sheen does ridiculous amounts of damage. With Klectomancy, he's going to be able to get a little bit more gold. He's going to be able to get a couple more items from it, and he's going to be able to show the Vlad that you're not the only one here. And you see the Shurima Shuffle in the mid lane, tries to come in and take the victor, but misses just barely, and now he's being punished gravely for it. And it seems like the Sejuani and Victor will now be following up on top of our mid laner, I can't pronounce these guys' names, I swear. Like we were talking about before, these guys have insane names. I wish I was as creative as them, but sadly I'm just a boring man that made an edgy, sinful wishing name, and that's how I'm stuck for the rest of my life.
I'm working on the back end of the OBS right now to try and figure out how to turn off audio monitoring, so I might be a little out of it for a couple seconds here.
That's fine, then I'll just keep on picking this up. We seem like we're Stwani's be giving that blue to the victor. And now we have the Azir coming down towards the bot lane, trying to help out his bot and support, trying to get them a little ahead. Gragas is now counter jungling in the blue jungle down in the bot lane, be trying to get that, pick up that red. And Azir seems like he's going to be trying to help out the Gragas to get that vision up. All the while, Gangplank seems to be getting a little bit of a pincer movement right now. Vlad's in the top, Sejuani's in the jungle, in the lane up near the Baron. They're going to try to be getting probably a gank happening there soon. Scion's just doing his thing, getting knockups and then backing off. And all in all, we're still a little calm. It's just after the storm, everything calms down, and it seems like Sejuani's actually going to be invading top right now. But she's going to run into that pink ward and be unable to have a successful gank and be able to actually have that element of surprise. They still could do something with it, but not as much as what they could have done if that ward wasn't there. So here we go. Now we have the bot lane, just farming up again, trying to get rid of this pink ward. Osama's getting ready. Varus trying to pick him off with those arrows. Sejuani's backing in the enemy jungle right now. A little dangerous. Azir's going to be trying to push up and get some poke damage right now, but then instead in the bot lane, we have the ult popping by Rakan, and then ult pops by Xayah. He's going to be trying to get that Varus. He's got a little bit, but the Varus pops the heal, and it seems like he'll be able to get away, and nobody's going to be going down, but a couple Summoner Shifts was played. Varus's flash was played. Varus's heal was played. Zion's heal was played. Zion's exhaust was played. Everybody's summoner spells were played down that bot lane, and it seems like everyone's going to walk away scotch-free. And it seems like everything's going back to calm down. Vladimir now trying to get some of that damage off him with the Gangplank. Gangplank's going to have to flash away, taking a little bit of damage, and he dies to the Ignite from the Vladimir. It was very dangerous, the Gangplank. He needed to respect the Vladimir a little bit more. He was not prepared for that much damage, and he was just punished gravely for it. And so now it's going to be a 2-0 lead for the blue side.
All right, I figured out how to turn off the monitoring, so you know, back in it now and don't have that awkward echo. But getting back into the game, we have the Sejuani going in bot side, throwing that ultimate down on the Varus, trying to get some damage. Wasn't able to get the follow up. Gangplank coming in, trying to just scare them away and give them a little bit of breathing room. That way they can, you know, get some room down there.
Yeah, and you definitely, also in the mid lane, you gotta be careful. The Azir is playing with fire right now. Victor still has a decent amount of damage from his burst, even though he doesn't have all his items built. The Azir shouldn't be staying too long, which he isn't now, and he's gonna be backing to get back his health and trying to spend some of the money. The Grok is kind of just walking in the lane, accepting the damage he's gonna take from Victor, but trading for that protection he's gonna be given to the mid lane.
And Victor's been starting to take a commanding lead in that mid lane. He's up 20 CS at this point, and shows no sign of stopping. Definitely he's got his lane presence down pat.
Definitely, and now we have Gangplank and Vlad up top. Gangplank definitely now showing the respect he should be to this Vlad, showing that, okay, I understand, you can do some damage, I'm not going to try to get too close to you, or it's going to hurt, and you're not going to want to, he doesn't want to feed this Vlad another kill. A fed Vlad is not a fun Vlad. Well, it's a fun Vlad for the man playing it, but not for the man going against it.
Absolutely, he's quite an obnoxious champion to go against.
Yeah, he's up 9 CS right now, but it's not going to make that too much of a difference just because Gangplank has that Kleptomancy. He's making back that CS that he's missing right now, but he did lose a kill to Vlad, so Vlad's definitely got a little bit of a lead. Alright, so now we're going to be going down into the jungle. It seems like Gragas and Azir are going to be down there doing that blue buff, trying to get that blue buff to the Azir. So now he's going to be having that quick cooldown to have that mana regen. He's not going to have to worry about it. He's just going to poke the living heck out of this Victor. Sejuani's going to be moving towards the top lane now. I don't think Gangplank was prepared. Well, he seems like he noticed a little bit, but he's actually staying really close to that tri-bush up the top lane. He's not going to be prepared for what happens when the Sejuani tries to engage with the Vlad, but he seems to be backing off now, and he understands that something's fishy, something's wrong, I need to get out of here.
So it looks like we have Wisconsin making a move towards Dragon. They've got a couple lanes pushed, but if you look at that vision in that bottom river, they got those two pings towards the top side of it, and it looks like they're going to be able to get this uncontested. They see that the Sejuani's top lane trying to get that siege going. We'll have to see if they transition down to the Rift Herald to try and get at least something for what would otherwise be a free Dragon.
Yeah, and for that free dragon they had to trade their sad pirate's heart. That pirate was like saying, hey, you guys left me up top, and his ship got destroyed. The cannons were not enough to keep off the Vlad and Sejuani, who just dived him down into that tower and decimated him, giving them now a 3-0 lead and about a 1k gold over the red side. So now it seems like Azir, Gragas, Sion, and Varus are all now, it seems like they're setting up to try to do some big bot gank down here. They're going to be trying to probably take this bot lane turret, but Rakan and Xayah are not having any of it. Victor's coming along. Oh, Rakan with the jump over the wall, but sadly did not be able to connect with the Gragas. And seems like that ult will be now down in the ditches, not even able to have any type of worth, and he'll have to now wait until that comes back up to be able to do anything big again.
Just looking for a quick time check. What time are you at?
13:20.
13:20. All right, I'm right behind you.
All right, so I will be.
There we go. I'm all caught up now. Cool.
All right, we're good to go then, guys. It seems like we're having a little bit of trouble on the technical side, but you know, streaming's not as easy as you think. One day you might be like, hey, I think I can stream, but trust me, I thought my laptop could do it. and it failed me. I had to destroy it immediately and to the laptop god. So you just know some days your laptop works, sometimes you got to sacrifice it, you know. Happens. So now we're coming back onto the Rift. No more lollygagging here. We're going to be having to talk serious. This is hardcore League of Legends. Shoutcasting for the collegiate field. We have the top lane dropping right now to the Vlad and Sejuani. The top lane will probably be taken now. The top turret for the red side is going to be going down. So that is going to be detrimental for the enemy team, because now they have to focus. They have to be worried about this Vlad split pushing, which is one of Vlad's most unique things. He's great at split pushing, and he can really get away and very slippery from the enemy team. So he can go split push some, and even if he gets caught, he can usually get away from it.
And so the Vladimir definitely looks like he's taken a commanding lead, and by all accounts he has. But if there's one thing that Gangplank excels at, it is getting gold. He has so much passive, not really passive gold generation, but you know, using his Q, using his parlay, and also he's gotten a call. And so in 35 more minion kills, he's going to be able to go home, cash that in for a nice chunk of change, and hopefully transition that into his Trinity Force, which he's working on right now.
You are right on that. And seems like Victor will be picking up this blue buff once again, and that is going to help him now push back that Azir and try to take the mid turret from the red team.
We have Azir finally is going to start hitting his first power spike. He's completed that Nashor's Tooth, as opposed to Victor, who's just been upgrading his cores, which again is a very valuable part of his kit. But I definitely feel like Azir is going to need to start making some plays around this point in time, when he's reaching that little peak of his.
Indeed, indeed. And now let's see what's happening down in mid lane. It seems like they're both going to be poking each other down. Victor getting a little bit more poke damage, but I believe Victor does not know that the Grog is still be actually around, but Sejuani seems like he's going to be coming over. Victor's running, is using that fleet footwork to be able to get as close as he can to that Zir. Sejuani's trying to pick a fight with Gragas, but Gragas is definitely fighting back. We have Rakan ulting down in the bot lane, trying to keep the Varus, but the Varus was able to flash away before anything happened. We have Vladimir at the top lane. There's fights everywhere, and then there's a Zir coming in to finish it up, and then Vlad gets the kill. Now we have down in the bot lane, we have the Zaya trying to deal damage to that Varus, but the Varus has been able to finish off the Zaya before she can even do anything. Rakan's up on the list next, but Sejuani says, no, I'm going to save you with my Glacial Prison, and it seems like that will be it. I think it's done.
Holy cow.
There's a lot happening around the map. It's not done yet, though. Victor's still poking away at Azir mid lane, and Azir saying, oh no, I'm not letting this go down without a fight, but sadly he had nothing else to do. It seems like for that trade, for their Red's middle tower, they're going to also be taking Blue's bot, and it seems that fight was done. Papa, what just happened?
Fighting, lots and lots of fighting. It was all over the place. We had the Vladimir, continually asserting his dominance over that Gangplank, picking up the solo kill, and then transitioning to bot side. We had it was, I believe, Wisconsin was oh man, I'm getting all sorts of tripped up. We had the Azir come down and start protecting that.
It was a lot. It was a lot. I'm short on breath now. I'm not used to shoutcasting like this. I'm usually like the flavored text man, but now I gotta be like the action man. It's hard, man.
Hey,
it's hard.
You're doing a good job with it as is. We can take a look at now the vision, and so something that's been interesting to keep an eye on over across the course of this game is that Wisconsin has had a much bigger presence in terms of vision. But here, going into this,
Zaya was able to go in and take down the Gangplank and bot. He was not expecting that much to happen. The Sejuani gets away with just barely any of her life left. Zaya's now going to try to push this bot lane to be able to take it now. And it seems like Rift Herald is going to be going to be attacked by the Gragas down in the top of the jungle. And it seems like Sion and Azir are going to try to keep it away. So this seems like there's going to be a trade. This Rift Herald for the bot lane of Red's turret. But the Rift Herald has not been completed yet, nor has the bot lane. The bot lane will be going down. Varus has actually taken the top lane as well. So it seems like an even trade there. And now they'll be able to take this Rift Herald here, which will be extremely helpful due to the fact of the lane pressure that now they have.
At the end of the day, that ended up as a net positive for Wisconsin. They were able to get that top tower, which was the 1-for-1 with their bottom side tower, and they also got the Rift Herald. Unfortunately, they weren't able to transition quickly enough to Dragon, but instead of forcing a fight at Dragon, they're just going to force a fight at mid. Use that Rift Herald they just got as they pound into that middle turret.
Yeah, and I think this was the proper thing to do. Let them have that Earth Dragon, and we'll get the mid. Oh, and you see that flash, and then the ult by Rakan to be able to CC everybody. Oh, the Shuriam is trying to push him away, but they're not able to go in, and Zero goes down on the place. Now we have Sion trying to keep them away and CC them, though. Keep their teammates safe. Rakan's not letting Sion get away, and he's going to be going down to Victor, and now he's going to be trying to get some kills, but he's slowed, and he's not going to be able to get anything else from there. And sadly, Wisconsin will be the ones losing in this fight. They were first they were thinking, oh great, we're just gonna take mid turret and get away and be safe. But quick enough on Rakan, he's doing great. Teddy Eddie has been insane on that Rakan. He's been able to react inhumanly fast, be able to CC chain them and make it so they force a fight where Wisconsin would not want it.
And it seems like now stuff is actually, surprisingly enough, stuff is actually starting to come together for Wisconsin. Yes, they just lost that fight, and again, they did lose that dragon, but it seems like many players on their team are starting to get those core items they need. Something that is very scary on the Rift, a Varus with a Rage Blade, and that's what he's finally gotten now. You have your top Gangplank, he's finally competed that Trinity Force. He's still going to lose out in a 1v1 to Vladimir, but at least he can start getting some of those, you know, a little bit more damage going out there. And Gragas just bulking up with that Warmogs.
Yes, definitely. And now Varus will be taking that red buff and heading back to base to try to buy a couple more items. But definitely this is where Varus starts to shine. He's definitely hit his power spike. He hasn't died yet. He's gotten 1 kill, so he's actually not too far behind. Gangplank, on the other hand, sadly, he is a person that is behind greatly, and he needs to be ahead. Gangplank is one of those characters where it's hard to come back from behind until he gets a little bit later in the game. The Trinity Force will definitely help on that side, but he could be at a better advantage if he would have played a little bit safer in the beginning.
It absolutely could have, but props off, or hats off to the Sejuani, who did help force some events topside that definitely gave the Vladimir the edge there. Something that's been interesting to take note of is that the Vladimir has not changed out any of his summoner spells yet. I do not believe he has. He actually did change the TP to the Ignite, but it was such a quick and subtle change that no one would even notice. You are perfect the way you are, Poppy. Oh, thank you, Josh. I appreciate it.
No problem. Yeah, I wouldn't have noticed either, but what actually happened was in the top lane, Vladimir used one of the Ignites to actually get the kill on Gangplank, and then he switched out for a TP, which a great move it was. And so he's actually been using, but I think he should have probably used the TP by now and switched to another one, I feel. That's probably would have been the better idea than to be holding on to it.
At the end of the day, as long as you're not wasting it, I guess, you know, no harm, no foul, and he's certainly not squandering any opportunities presented with him with that 302 stat line.
Yeah, he's definitely doing what Vladimir needs, and that's he's being like a top carry basically at this point, doing that damage and tanking at the same time, and that's just what you need in a Vlad. You want him fed, and you want him hot, you want him to be as fast as lightning. And so we're going to be seeing around, they're going to be setting up around Baron right now, trying to get that vision to try to probably stop Chicago from trying to do anything here. They're going to be pushed away a little bit. And Sejuani's going to try to dash forward and try to throw that Ice Glacial Prison, but luckily Gragas is going to be able to flash away. But this fight is going to be starting now. And here we go. I'm dying inside. And we have the Sarima Shuffle popping everybody away. But then we've Khan coming back in to try to CC everybody, which is devastating. Zaya's just piercing everybody with her feathers of death and being able to get a couple kills off there. Vlad's going to be trying to clean up anything in the backline. But in the end, it seems like that Wisconsin's going to be coming short-ended on this one, losing 2 of their teammates compared to Chicago losing 1 of their own.
It was a smart play by Chicago to force that fight. They saw that the Gangplank was bot side, clearing the wave that Vladimir set up so nicely. But hey, we're going to have to see here if Vizier is able to get out of this with just an execute, and he is. So the death timer is one thing, but at least he doesn't give any gold over to that very strong Vladimir right now.
Yeah, the Zaya and Victor have to be very careful. This Gangplank is at full health. He's able to get the barrel off on the Victor and get 1 kill. He's going to try to get this other kill. The Zaya's trying to run for life, but he gets hit. And now here goes Gangplank. He's running away, and sadly, Vladimir cannot save his teammate. He's going to have to back off here to save his life.
Hey, Josh, what's better than a crit? An AoE crit.
Whoa, and what was that? Was that a barrel? Barrel. A great barrel, man. Everybody's got barrels. You see this? Gragas has got a barrel. Gangplank's got a barrel. One's got gunpowder. The other one's got vodka. Everything's good, man. Everything's good.
The
And you know
Vladimir
what's
finally
between
gets the
those
shutdown, and the gold gets to Gragas. Not necessarily the person you wanted to, and the Varus is right there, but if you can get that front line to be beefy enough, you know, it'll be hard for them to chew through it.
Yeah, and it seems like Rakan's getting a little close. Oh, and there comes the ultimate from Gangplank. He's able to. Oh!
Styling on him.
Style points. That's some style points there. But even though he styled, he also got away from it. Rakan,
They're not gonna
like
get
I
it.
say, he's got great reaction times. This is inhuman reaction. It's crazy. It seems like they'll be doing Baron right now for Wisconsin. They're going to try to get this Baron, but Chicago's not going to allow this to happen easily on their turn. Shizwai's going to try to get in there, but Shireen is going to push him out. Zaya still can do a ton of damage. Oh, but it seems like the Wisconsin's going to be able to get the Baron. But at what cost is this Baron going to come? It seems at the cost of 3 members from Chicago to 2 members from Wisconsin, and it'll be coming out with Wisconsin on top.
That was an interesting fight. It started out with Wisconsin being all trapped around the Baron, but then it got quickly scattered up. I was mainly focusing on what the Azir was doing in the pit, and he managed in conjunction with the Gragas to secure that Baron, but it seemed like a pretty scattered fight.
It was definitely very close. The Zaya could have made that way less worth it for Wisconsin, but luckily that Azir was able to shut her down really quickly and be able to secure a nice Baron with less deaths than there could have been.
So here they're just dragging out the dragon, trying to clear up any standing gold, you know, while you know, Chicago's just respawning, and then just gonna go reset the waves and probably look to group.
Yeah, and with that Earth Drake now, they're going to have even more siege opportunities, and they're going to have so much more power behind these now. And Baron empowered. Now their attacks are going to be empowered by the Earth Dragon. It's going to be perfect to be able to take down what remains of the blue side base.
And so, taking a look onto the mini-map, something I was talking about this earlier, and then you know, all these fights started erupting. It is the vision of Wisconsin that I feel is one of their strongest suits. If you just look down into that mini-map, it's just so many red wards over there. They got a couple pink wards on the map, but it's the control wards that they're using to really get vision of those river areas and advance their line of sight and keep Chicago in the dark.
Yeah, and then with the vision, it's probably why they're able to come on top on some of these fights. They understand when people are going to be coming, so they understood maybe in that Baron play when to fight the Baron and when to fight the enemy team and how to split up. And their communication is just that much better than Chicago's right now, which needs to be able to start to group together and understand each other's play styles.
A lot of early damage onto the Vladimir might be able to take him out. We have Arkan jumping in, getting the taunt, but they don't want to commit. It just looks like they're trying to scare them off while they get the Victor to come down. The Victor's a big portion of their damage right now, and forcing a fight without him would definitely mean the end for them.
Definitely, and it seems like they're going to try to siege this bot turret here, but it's not going to be as easy as they thought. It seems like there's going to be 4 people from Chicago defending the turret, and it's going to be trying to get that poke damage from Victor. Is going to be a crucial thing. If they can get enough damage down on that Azir or that Varus, they might actually engage on top of them. Vladimir came back from base all healed up and ready to start a fight with somebody.
This will be another interesting thing. We see that the Vladimir's now switched out his teleport for Ghost, and so you can see that they are still down a member, Wisconsin that is, so if they force a fight, it will be a 4v5. They got the TP going in, and now they have Vladimir coming in from the backside.
Yeah, and everything's going to be coming out. It seems like Vladimir is taking hefty amounts of damage, able to heal it from a minion, but he's going to have to back off from here. Victor's trying to get some damage off too, but he's going to be getting low. Everybody on the Chicago side is getting low. Siren's going to go down to the Zaya's feathers recalling back, and there goes Gragas going down as well. Vlad is popping off right now. He's trying to get, but he seems like he was able to get any help back, so he went down as well. Everybody's low right now. They have to be very careful. It seems like Zaya's trying to get as much damage as possible. Oh, the turret damage is not enough to take down Gangplank. He's going to be backing off as well. And it seems like Wisconsin's going to have to come out on top this time, as they're going to be able to take this bot turret, and it was well worth it for them.
The Zaya had a beautiful 3-person stun from recalling all of those feathers, but at the end of the day, it was not enough. Wisconsin is too beefy right now, and they expended too much, killing the 2 tanks on their team, instead of actually being able to get to any of the DPS.
That is true. That is true indeed. And now let's take a quick look at the map. Let's see. So for Wisconsin, they seem to be having the second tier of all their towers still up and pretty healthy, while Chicago's base is slowly falling away. Bot is on their third tier. Mid is basically almost done with their second tier, and their top second tier is also taking some damage. I thought, when I was at the early game of this, I really thought that Chicago was on the lead right here, and they were going to really take it home. They got this advantage, but they seem to have lost it now. Wisconsin's definitely coming back, and they're proving to show that their communication and their team comp is far superior to Chicago's. And it seems like right for now, we have and just like you said, now it seems like the vision for Wisconsin is starting to dwindle a little bit towards the Baron pit, as Chicago has a lot more wards there, but Wisconsin doesn't care really about that Baron pit because they just took it. They don't need as much vision there as much anymore. They just need couple brushes to make sure that they don't get any surprise attacks.
And so it seems like the teams are just trying to keep all their waves pushed. You know, you have the Gangplank working top lane and Azir working bottom. And it seems like since Chicago knows that the Azir's bottom lane, they're going to force a fight middle.
Yeah, but it seems like Khan's going to be going in there because the stuns on everybody, and it seems like Zaya's now going to just keep penetrating them from far away with her feathers. It seems like she got a double kill right there, and then Khan's going in to try to knock up that Sion again, but they're going to have to back away. Sejuani's taking way too much damage from that turret, and they're going to say, okay, we got the 2 kills, we're good. We're going to back off for now, wait for the minion wave to come up, and we're going to now siege your tower. And now it seems like Victor's going to try to keep them away from the tower as much as possible, dropping the stun. They popped them back. Rakai's going to come in with the knockup on Gangplank. Gangplank's going to go down to Victor. Victor's also going to try to get this Sion. Sion's burning away from the Leandres, but he's going to be able to get away with just enough health to spare. And now Azir do the damage to Victor, but Victor's going to outburst him right there, pushing him away, and it seems like now they're going to back off. They like it. They got 3 kills from that. That was well worth it. They also got the mid lane second tier turret from them, and it's just going so much better for Chicago. They were able to now come back. When I thought Wisconsin was now going to take this, I'm all over the place now. With Chicago showing that now we are the superior ones. We understand each other way better than you guys, and they were able to pick the fight. It seems like when Wisconsin is picking the fights, they win, and when Chicago picks the fights, they win. So it seems like whoever starts the fight more comfortably seems to be able to come out on top.
What happened there was Wisconsin had a little bit of a lapse in judgment. They were too focused on making sure all the waves were overpushed, and they sent their strongest character. They sent Azir down to the bot lane to push a wave that was already on the opposing side of the lane. And so that as soon as they saw that the Azir was bot lane, you could actually see it on the minimap. They pinged, they saw the Azir was bot lane, and that's when they had that taunt flash in with the Rakan, knocked them all up, and they were able to get a nice fight based off of it.
Yeah, and it's definitely proving, so like how we were talking about back at the champion selection, Zaya and Rakan, that combo is very scary. Rakan can get so quickly into the enemy backline, and Zaya can get to the backline as well, since all her feathers penetrate through everybody. And it seems like now Chicago's going to be setting up for this Baron take, but Gangplank's trying to get back here saying, let's see if I can get some of this cosplay in here and pop a nice little barrel on there to take it.
So Baron's definitely dealing a lot of damages, and the important thing is that Zaya, she is the damage for Chicago. If she goes down or if she gets low, they need to rethink whatever objective they're going for.
That is for sure. So I feel like from this point on, when Wisconsin should definitely be focusing down that Zaya. Second that Zaya's down, the damage drops significantly. And it seems like Wisconsin now saying like, hey, we scared them off of Baron. Let's try Baron ourselves. Sion trying to get that stuff, but missing it. We're kind of going in, knocking up everybody. Now he's going to be taunting everybody. It seems like the damage is going to be coming out from the Zaya in the backline. They need to get that Zaya now, or it's going to just be onion ring. Vlad's going to be taking down Sion. Victor's going to be taking down Azir. Rakan just jumps back there to help get the Zaya the kill on the Gragas. And it seems like they're going to be trying to complete this Baron, and it seems like Chicago will be coming out on top with taking no deaths, killing 3 of the enemy from Wisconsin, and having the Baron buff. This could spell doom for Wisconsin's base.
I'll tell you what, the Sejuani and the Rakan are the ones who are carrying this game. The Zaya is the one who's dealing all the damage, but if that Rakan and Sejuani didn't get that combo of ultis off together, I think it was a 3-man knockup that they had there. It solidifies the front line for Wisconsin. Chicago is just able to tear through them with the damage that the other 3 characters bring.
And in the end, like you said the first time, I feel like Wisconsin's comp is just not able to stand against Chicago's. It's coming down now to the point where the players are pretty even matched, but in the end, the player kits are just so much better for Chicago than Wisconsin in these team fights.
Easily picking up a dragon there, bursting it down in a matter of seconds.
That will help increase their damage, give Zaya just that much more punch. Zier's gonna give a little bit of damage on Sejuani, but Sejuani's like, that's just a little bit of like a tick biting on you. It's not gonna hurt at all.
Nice love tap.
Yeah, it's like a nice love tap. It's like a nice slap on the butt as like football players. You know, like good game.
Good game.
Run away. All right, we're running out of fuel right now, so I'm gonna get some G-Force. I'm just kidding. I'm not sponsored.
No. It's hashtag not sponsored.
Hashtag not sponsored. Okay. So now we seem like it calms down the storm. So let's talk about what do you feel right now? How do you 10 kill lead? It's about 2 to 3K gold lead. Who do you think is right now in the spot to win this? Do you think that Wisconsin can come back from this, or do you think that Chicago is going to be able to just finish them off?
Wisconsin is nowhere near out of this game, because when you're actually, yeah, they're up 10 kills, but they're even in turrets, they're even in objective kills, so you know they both got the 2 dragons, and the gold differential's only 3K, and at this point in the game, that's not the biggest deal. They do have Baron buff, which is going to be the difference to allow them to push up all these lanes and really start getting that base pressure, which they so desperately need.
Yep, and here we go. Seems like it's going to be a conflict down on the red side of the bot lane. Azir's trying to poke off as much damage as possible and scare them away, but they're not having any of it. Chicago's going to keep trying to push for this turret, but it seems like they have been scared. Sejuani's a little farther away than thought. Victor's actually separated a little bit from the team. They got to be careful separating like this. This is how people get picked, and this is how they lose games. So they got to be very careful not to get picked out this far. Here comes the gangplank all coming down on top of Sejuani and Vladimir. They're backing off again. Rakan dropping that redemption to give some healing back to everybody. It seems like they're going to back away and try to regroup and try to start this again. I feel like Victor's playing a little on the edge right now. He sees the Grog is coming up, but he seems like to back off. Gangplank's able to clear with those barrels, so it's not too much of a problem for them right now.
With the Baron buff, you want to try and get as many lanes pushed as possible. But that is, doing a split push is, oh, we're going in.
Oh, and Rakan's doing the taunt to everybody. Rakan's able to taunt the Azir, and the Zion's able to finish off. Victor stopping on the Zion, trying to tell him how he's going to hit. And it seems like Vlad's going to be able to Zonia's to get out of this. Varus is trying to get as much damage as possible. They're going to be able to take this bot inhibitor and to be one step closer to collapsing the enemy nexus.
They might be able to end it here. The game
It could be possible. Rakan's going back in again. Seems like Gragas came a little bit too far out. He's going to be taking the penalty for that one. Gangplank's trying to come over and try to clear these minion waves as possible, but it's no way in happening. It seems like this Nexus is going to be going down. And there we go. Rakan's getting in there to help Zaya get that final kill. Gangplank's trying to get as far back in that base as possible so he doesn't give another kill. But it seems like Chicago will be finishing it out here on the Nexus. Wisconsin's Nexus will implode on itself, and it will be a victory for Chicago.